This is Trend Following Radio, where great thinking comes alive. Nobel Prize winners, legendary traders, best-selling authors, and the pros that know what drive us irrational human beings. I am your host, Michael Coveil. Not filtered, raw, honest. That's my passion. You know, the more zen I become about things in life, my own life, how I interact with other people, I'm having a harder time getting angry about anything. Maybe I'm more incredulous, or I'm mystified, or so. You know, I've been having a lot of monologues recently about entrepreneurism and the spirit you need. And I'm a firm believer right now that there is a problem in America, and America needs leadership. America needs somebody to stand up and say, hey, a political leader, to stand up and say, listen, the state can't fix your problems. Can't happen. You know, maybe we can give you some Social Security, we can give you some unemployment insurance, but you need to get off the couch. You need to stop the reality shows. You need to stop the video games. And when you do that, you need to look to these business leaders for insight, for experience, for inspiration. And they can hopefully lead you down the path where you can have some nice achievement and fulfillment in your own life. That's what we need. Unfortunately, we are not getting that. We're not getting anything like that. I have to read a passage. It's not too long, but I want to read the full thing, just so someone doesn't say that I'm taking it out of context. And this is a paragraph from President Obama over the weekend speaking in Roanoke. Quote, "There are a lot of wealthy, successful Americans who agree with me because they want to give something back. They know they didn't. Look, if you've been successful, you didn't get there on your own. You didn't get there on your own. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else. Let me tell you something. There are a whole bunch of hardworking people out there. If you were successful, somebody along the line gave you some help. There was a great teacher somewhere in your life. Somebody helped to create the unbelievable American system that we've allowed you to thrive. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you've got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. The internet didn't get invented on its own. Government research created the internet so that all the companies can make money off the internet. The point is that when we succeed because of our individual initiative, but also because we do things together. There are some things, just like fighting fires, we don't do on our own. I mean, imagine if everybody had their own fire service. That would be a hard way to organize fighting fires. So we say to ourselves, ever since the founding of this country, you know what? There are some great things we do better together. That's how we funded the GI Bill. That's how we created the middle class. That's how we built the Golden Gate Bridge or the Hoover Dam. That's how we invented the internet. That's how we sent a man to the moon. We rise or fall together as one nation, as one people. And that's the reason I'm running for president, because I still believe in that idea. You're not on your own. We're in this together. End quote. Well, there's some things that he says there that I don't think anybody can disagree with. The national achievements of putting a man on the moon, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Hoover Dam. I don't really think there's people on the left or the right that disagree with that. You know, I don't think there's anybody on the right, at least a thinking person, a sane person that wants to have little private fire companies all over. You know, maybe it would work better. I have no earthly idea, but I don't think there's any argument on the left or the right that wants to eliminate fire companies or make that the argument. That, my friends, is the quintessential straw man. It is an irrelevant issue. It's irrelevant because nobody's talking about it. No one wants to do that. You know, maybe there's some extreme boogeymen somewhere that want to get rid of fire companies and didn't want to build the Hoover Dam. But that's not what the fight's about. The fight is about you getting ahead. Let me read a passage from Trent Commandments really quick. My book, Trent Commandments. Quote, "The phrase gifted musician, natural athlete, and innate intelligence are genetic prisons. Abilities are not set in genetic stone. They are soft and sculptable. far into adulthood. With humility, hope, and extraordinary determination, greatness is something everyone can aspire to. The problem that I have with what President Obama says, and especially the one sentence in the middle, if you've got a business, you didn't build that, someone else made that happen. That's not the right message. Now hold on. Let me take a step back before somebody says, oh, Covel's just bashing Obama. He's some right-wing Republican. I was just telling someone the other day, I still don't understand what President Bush was saying when he said he needed to suspend the free market system to save the free market system. I still don't understand why Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers went toast and Goldman Sachs survived. I still don't understand why there were bank bailouts. I have no earthly idea. I don't understand why John Corzine has not done a perp walk. So I'm an equal opportunity truth teller. But the President of the United States, in the middle of a really, really bad economy, should not be, and when I read that passage that he was talking about, you have to understand, most of the people, there was in front of a crowd, and every time he would say these things, people would cheer. And, you know, what he's really saying is that the individual can't have it both ways. He's really saying that there are some smart people out there that got lucky, and there's some equally unsmart people out there who didn't get lucky. Well, yeah, life's not fair, but do we really want the state equalizing that fairness? Do we want the state stepping in and saying because some one guy had a great idea and everybody bought his product that we need to fix it so the loser gets to the same place? Do we really want that? I'm not saying that's what the president was proposing, but he was saying something. And once again, the line is, if you've got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. Nobody else made my business happen. Nobody else wrote my books. Nobody else wakes up and does what I do every day. The state does not do it. You know, I think the interesting argument, it's really disingenuous too, the idea of roads. The president says, well, we all need roads, so we're in this together. Once again, no one's debating this, but let's be honest about it for a second. Why do we have roads? Where did roads come from? Go back 100 years ago. Was the state really responsible for the roads? Well, of course, yes, the state pays for the roads with tax receipts and stuff like that. But was the state responsible for the roads? I would argue no. The car was responsible for the roads. An individual invented the car. The state did not invent the car. Individuals drive the economy. The state fills in the gaps. But once again, I'm not angry about it. If you want to get ahead and you want a good life, you really can't buy into this notion that we're all in it together. We're not all in it together. My name is Michael Coveil. I wake up every day and I work my ass off. I don't wake up every day and do crack. I don't wake up every day and do meth. I don't wake up every day and lay around. I get my ass up and I work. And I make things happen. That spirit, regardless of what a politician is telling you, regardless of a couple years ago, Bush is saying that the free market system needs to be suspended so he can fix the free market system or save it or whatever nonsense he was talking about, or now Obama telling me that I'm not responsible for my own self and that there's some collectivist group that we're all a part of. Yes, we are a part of one country. Yes, I get that. But that's not the issue to get ahead today. If you want to get ahead today, it's going to be purposeful, hard work on your part. The state can't do it for you. And if you are at a group, a gathering, and you're listening to a politician tell you that the state can fix it, and you're cheering every time that politician says that line, what's wrong with you? Where did you go off the rails? Where did you fall down? Where did you implode? When did you give up? When did you give up that you're at an organized event cheering on a politician that's basically saying entrepreneurs are just lucky? Yes, some people are lucky. Some people make more money than others. The Walton family heirs from the Walmart fortune are lucky. They were born into it. So what? I don't ever wake up and say to myself, gee, the Walton family heirs are lucky. I must take more of their money to make me feel better about myself. Are you serious? Is that really where we're at? And let's be perfectly honest about it. I don't think the vast majority of Americans think like that. I think what happens is that when a president, whether it's on the right or the left, makes a statement, and if he happens to be on the left with this statement by Obama or the right by that statement by Bush about free markets, but let's take about the Obama statement. What happens is the people that are self-described to that side just say, well, I'll just go along with whatever he says because I'm on his side. And then if Bush says something, we need to go to all these wars, I'll just go along with it because I'm on his side. But that's the problem. The problem is there's no longer a search for the truth. We've just got namby-pambies that just don't even think for themselves. And if their superhero, whether it's on the right or the left, says something, they just go along like sheep, like lemmings. And they march right down the path. And if the cliff is sitting at the end of the path, they'll jump right off. They don't even care. Now, I told you, I'm not angry. Honestly, I'm not angry. I'm more incredulous than anything. It's like, is this really what America has become? I told someone the other day, I'd almost like to, and someone said, well, this is actually a scene from The Matrix. I'd have to go watch The Matrix again. But I'd almost like to be living in Tokyo and not learn Japanese because I don't want to hear it anymore. Like, I don't care. The political debates in America, they're completely nonsensical. I mean, there's been a big discussion recently about the outsourcing of jobs to China. Are you serious? The very same people that are talking about the outsourcing of jobs to China and complaining about it, or complaining that the Olympic outfits were made in China, those very same people on the left and on the right, guess what? Almost everything in their freaking house was made in China. So they have no problem having everything in their house made in China. But now we're going to complain that we're outsourcing jobs to China, and we're going to complain that the Olympic outfits were built in China. Are you serious? Have we really become... Is it time to start using the word stupid? Is that where we're at? Or has it just become massive fear? People are so afraid. They don't, the economy has been up and down for a decade. Is it literally that people are so afraid they'll do anything? They'll do anything. Is that where we're at? And if we are there, which I kind of tend to think that we are, it's up to you as an individual to not pay attention to the system. I mean, my life's not going to change whether Obama or Romney is the president. It's still going to be insane. And there's no conviction. These are paid political leaders. These are figureheads of larger concerns. They're corporate suits. They both take they both take donations from the same place. I mean, Goldman Sachs donates to both of them. It's the same person, for in many ways. I mean, maybe they differ on some issues somewhere, but is it relevant to me? So I guess I give this kind of long-winded speech to remind you that yes, we have to pay taxes for the roads and the bridges, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not we, it's you. It's you as an individual. It's you and your friends and your family. Because you know what? You can't count on anybody else. You can't count that the next door neighbor or the guy down the street is going to work as hard as you are. You can't count that he's not going to be addicted to meth. Or you can't count that some guy's not going to be walking out of, the room and he's all blown out on coke or some other nonsense. Or someone just sits around and because they can go to Walmart or the grocery store every day and they've decided that, my form of exercise is going to get up to be morbidly obese. How can there be a we when there's so much disparity in individual choice? There's so much disparity on the individual choices that Americans are making. How can there be a we? It's not a we. It's you. You have to decide. You have to make something happen. And if the current president of the United States is telling you that you're not responsible for your actions and you're really part of this collectivist team, that's just as crazy as, Obama saying that's just as crazy as Bush saying he was going to suspend the free market system. It's all entirely nuts. And when you have this much nuts going on, it's time to tune out. So when I say, I almost want to move to Tokyo so I can't understand what's being said. Not because I necessarily think the political dialogue is going to be any different. There's going to be just as much politics in Tokyo as there is in Southern California or Washington, D.C. But at least there, if I don't learn Japanese, I don't have to hear it. I see a time when those awake will understand how to make money in up, down, and surprise markets. Whether new trader or experienced, college student or financial advisor, protecting against a crash or just trying to make a lot of money, trend following offers everyone an answer in uncertain times. To get started immediately, send me an email, michael@covel.com. I will send you the right trend following steps to take along with my free video. But if you want to buy and hold, trust the government and trust Wall Street, this is absolutely not for you.